using your greed to advance the cause of corporate America. That's freedom. Independence FM. You pick the content, we get the advertising revenue. Welcome to a revolution in entertainment metrics. Independence FM. Independence FM. Let freedom rot. You pick them, we play them. Then we play commercials and make a buttload of money. And you think you're the genius around here. Welcome to Independence FM. Radio for people just like you. Loners who used to send girls mixtapes. Independence FM. Now, Independence FM. From the place that's the most free in the world. Liberty City, USA. We've put you in control. Only now do you realize you have nothing to say. Independence FM. It's Radio 2.0. Independence FM. The American dream has come to your radio. It's freedom, distilled into a lot of stolen music files. Independence FM. Let the revolution begin. Music will set you free, especially if you can get it without paying the artists. That's America. Take what you want and ride an SUV into the sunset. Independence FM. This is true independence. A revolution in radio. Music you pick, we play, and someone else pays. You exploit the artists, we exploit you. Independence FM. Finally, a radio station just for you and your just wonderful music. Independence FM. Welcome to the future of American radio. You, alone in a dark room, listening to music you stole off the internet. Independence FM. It's a revolution. Independence FM. Founded by a venture capitalist, invested in by hedge funds, run by a computer. This is the future of the entertainment industry. Independence FM. The Trail of Tears, prison camps in Cuba, dumping tea in the ocean. It's about independence. And now you have yours. Independence FM. It's a revolution.
This one's a great tune to listen to while making a spreadsheet of all the women you've slept with. I, myself, have 2 columns, including asterisks and highlights of the ones that have filed some sort of injunction afterwards. You can never get tired of this next song, and once you do, you'll be too senile to remember any of the best times of your life. Let's think about that while we both listen to a song you've probably never even paid for. Wow, this next song should be a ringtone. Fantastic! Ringtones are so manly. I remember I suggested the idea of a ringtone to an executive in the first class lounge at Francis International Airport. My ideas, someone should patent them. I tried, but I couldn't afford it, thanks to the bloody palimony. This next song reminds me of my best friend Danny. He stopped calling me after I got famous. That's life though. Men leaving each other for women breaks my fucking heart every time. God, I love working out with the boys. I've still got great abs. This next song says a lot about loss. I know about loss. I'm divorced and my kid is back home in Britain, and some say that's how you lose the will to live, but not with this music. And you, all of you out there? Prenup, seriously, it's the reason I got into producing ambient music. There should be a choir in this next song. Really? It's so beautiful when a bunch of women get together and sing about eternal damnation in unison. Kind of reminds me of the rush, the endorphins I had as a child, mowing the garden, grinding my pelvis into the lawnmower handle, getting confused and dreaming big. This next song I want them to play at my funeral, backwards. Man, I made a career out of backmasking. That's because I'm a tnuck. This next one is like an old dog. Faithful, friendly, ready to be put down. Why do you betray all your friends? I wish these twats would stop making this terrifying excuse for music. It sucks, people! Here's one. Reminds me of the time I lost my virginity. Before you ask, we weren't related. She'd already divorced my dad. Liberty City, it's me, Gary, back in the City of Dreams. Again. But we keep the hits happening. I feel like someone just hit me in the soul. Let's listen to this song. Who says rock and roll's dead? Well, me for one. Listen to this shit. Give me a break, and not another career break. I've run raves, I've .com'd. I'm on to the next thing. And it might be this. Bloody hope not. Gary Sheen. Remember the name. I'm gonna be famous again, very soon. Anyone who thinks I'm a fruit should listen to me listening to music like this next song. I've got my fist in the air. And with the other hand, I'm updating my social networking page to say mood, mauve. Like the colour. I'm down. You're listening to Independence, where you're the DJ and I'm just the paid mouthpiece without any soul. My name's Gary. I used to be pretty famous in the ex-girlfriend put a video of me naked online kind of way. Here's another tune. My god, this next one is a great track. No, only kidding, it's shite. Forgive me, I'm a little angry. My medication's sending me loopy. Best player record. I feel the same way about this next track as I feel about the colour taupe, which is American for beige. Hey, listen, if your career driving cars goes down the shitter, you should get a job making musical playlists for hotel lobbies. Anyone listening out there, if you got a good therapist, give me a bell or email me. I'm going mad in here. You're on Independence, where we play the music you like and make you listen to commercials for the privilege. Be thankful. So, this is a record for all the divorcees out there. Trust me, I know. Women are the worst. Not that I like men, not like that. Although, sometimes I wish I did. Here's a record that will remind you of your first kiss. Or maybe the time you learned to whack off. Either way, it'll give me a chance to run to the loo. I'm not wanking! Don't get any funny ideas. You'll love this next track. You should do, you picked it. And that's why you're listening to Independence. Because you're an egomaniac who wants everything your own way. That's what my ex-wife called me, so take it as a compliment. Brilliant! Fucking brilliant! I love this one. No, only kidding. It's shite. The programme director knows about as much about music as I know about knob hockey. I was down at Mason at 9 the other night with the other Brits, and the DJ put this one on and the place went, well, really flat, actually. It's an awful record. Take a listen. Here's one that will help me forget that I've destroyed my liver trying to convince myself I'm not worthless. I want you to listen to this song and think about how devastated people in Liberty City are to hear that some Bean Machine locations will be closing. How will America go on? This next one is like getting blasted in the face with pepper spray and screaming at her, I just wanted to talk. Jesus. Gary Sheen doesn't follow the rules. Not me. People say, Gary, does divorce make you bitter? That half of your money goes to someone who hates you? That you don't get laid anymore? Now, I make love to music. Your music. And guess what? It's shit in bed. Here's another song proving that you have terrible taste in music. I'd switch the station if I were you. Internet radio's the future, you know. Radio that nobody listens to. It's groundbreaking, really. Here's more music to have in the background when you call up your ex-wife and she says she regrets the day you ever met and that she can't even love her own child because it reminds her of you. Here's a band that, I have to say, I would never play at the massive music festivals I organised in England. I invented the music festival, allowing young people to get together and enjoy the power of overdosing. It was bloody beautiful. Man, I have to put these cigarettes down. Tobacco's evil, man. It calls you back like a woman and uses you. Then you walk home in the rain, dishevelled, and listen to this next track. You know what's great about Liberty City? You can see 30-year-old men in the park skateboarding and still trying to do tricks. Give it up, mate. That chapter of your life is closed. You're old. Me, I have an amazing $15,000 bicycle made out of compacted feces from the space shuttle. High tech, man. Let's have a record. Here's a great song. I mean that, mate. Makes you feel that somewhere down, deep inside, there's a beast trying to come out. Something medieval and ghostly, full of scurvy. The 21st century's a disaster. This song proves it. Only until you stood in front of massive speaker stacks hearing this song at high decibels do you realise it is complete and utter shit. What is music, really? Can you define it? What it does inside? Why it makes girls promiscuous? While you listen to this track, I'm going to be updating my blog. You can't read it. It's at a place on the internet nobody knows about. Gary Sheen's very exclusive. Fantastic track. You know, this radio gig, I only do this for the kids because I love kids. Not like that. I like pure rock and roll, or hip-hop for that matter, but please, if you request country, make sure it's someone non-rebellious who loves the president. Get in line, people! Thank God you didn't pay for that record. It's awful. God, please, amigo, buy some taste. Wow, that sounded like a bunch of drug addicts. You're on Independence, and that track proves that you will fail at most of what you do. Hi, I'm Gary, your online music radio companion. Please, don't play that track again. That song goes great with an erectile dysfunction pill and a small dog to bite your nipples. But hey, the 90s are over. You know what's great about that track? Me neither. But hey, some people like fat girls. Man, I really like this gig. It's almost like someone picks the music and I just say stupid shit between songs. That was another record by someone else. Look, I'm going to level with you. The station controller is a wanker who knows about as much about music as I know about having sex with strange men in truck stop toilets. You're listening to Independence, and that's another record that someone should be ashamed to own. You probably love that song. You fit the target demographic perfectly. You feel like a rebel, but they still know how to market to you. Figure that out. You're listening to Independence, and we're keeping the hits flowing, but we also have to play some lame records like that last one. You gotta love that record. Well, someone has to. Don't take offence. You see, I prefer remixes and exotic imported dance versions. I invented raving. To think those half-wits call themselves musicians. I puke better melodies. What I did last night, I got drunk on my own and cried. Again. Man, why does hearing popular music always make me so bitter? Because I'm a divorced loser without any friends. I love that record. In fact, I own it myself. I have it signed and everything. I've met a lot of celebrities. I once shared a perfectly platonic sauna with Love Fist. Independence FM with great tracks like that. You know what's great about radio? You feel like it's just a bunch of songs looping on a hard drive while DJs read the paper. That's fantastic! Life is so bloody spontaneous these days. What a great tune! We are rocking into an Independence free ride. This station really makes you feel alive. Like you've got fireworks and whiskey and a broken bottle in one hand and your best mate's tongue in your ear. Bloody marvellous. Thank God that bloody song's finished. That was rubbish! I don't know who wrote that shite, but I guarantee this. They got bullied a lot at school. No one bullied me. I used to pick on the slow kids. I bet they're laughing now. You hear a song like that and you say, thank God the music industry has imploded. I always wondered who the people were who bought that album, and now I know. Creepy, lonely people without many friends. People like me. I sincerely hope that, for as long as I live, I never have to hear that record again. My ex-wife loved that track. I don't think I have to say any more. Actually, I do. She was a cunt. That's a great one. The hits keep on happening here on Independence. Music you pick and I play. Then I turn the speakers down and read the paper. Drivel. It's a musical revolution. Independence FM with that great track. Let's remember the less fortunate out there. I had to sell my gold teeth to get some money for my internet startup. I know about suffering. Another bit of musical genius on Independence FM, reminding you that it could be worse. You could be in a place where people eat pigeon. That's one you won't hear in the annoying coffee shops and cafes in this town. Why has the world gone soft? Not me, not Gary. I'm on the verge of something big that will make social networking look like a shallow, faceless farce. I never get tired of hearing that one. Actually, I'm tired of it already. That track reminds me of when all offices were run by young dudes in their 20s with in-house masseurs, a cafeteria with sushi, and we were all rich. Now we're worried about the economy. Ugh. I always loved that record. No idea why, it's kind of bland. When I hear that track, I think to myself, thank God they don't make too many like that. The spirit of rock and roll will never die. It all just gets eaten by itself and regurgitated as pap like that. What a beautiful record. Thank God it ended, I was close to tears. If Man Could Fly, that song would cause a lot of people to end it all. I'm thinking about it just now. It's a cop-out, really. There are so many subpar pharmaceutical drugs to try. I've just taken one that gives me an erection and makes me incontinent at the same time. People say to me, Gary, why did you play that last record? Well, do you think I have free will? Certainly not. Everything was decided before you were born, including the fact that nobody actually likes your genitals. Can someone tell me why, despite the massive amounts of alcohol and hard drugs raging through my system, that song is still absolute shite? We've really started a movement in music, and I think that last song proved it. Now, put your headphones on and walk into traffic. America is officially done with you. That last song is excellent during yoga. Once you've learnt to fart in your own face, you can really relax. I love a downward dog. Wow, I'm surprised that anyone's around after that last song. I went to the bathroom and didn't flush because Gary is all about letting the yellow mellow. Plus, girls really like it when they go into your restroom and see that you're too lazy to even flush. I'm composting, bitch! They've outlawed everything fun in this town, yet somehow that song is still allowed to be played. All the geniuses are dead, but why am I still here? This is Independence FM with DJ Gary Sheen, the man that started rainbow parties back in '89. Don't know what they were? They were shit hot. 5 girls, all different coloured lipstick, loads of drugs. It was amazing. Proper raves, orbital style, water-cooled lasers, a couple of spotted doves, know what I mean? Wicked times. Independence FM, truly independent radio, so targeted that it only appeals to one person. You. Because you're the only person that matters anyway. Keep telling yourself that, amigo. I'm sure your mum loves you. In her own way. Independence FM, the future of broadcasting. One person spouting bollocks, the other person ignoring them, and some shitty music played in between. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hurt your feelings? Your music's great. I think you've got excellent taste. That's not the reason why you haven't got a girlfriend. I always say what I mean. Must be all them drugs I did. By the way, I've had a lot of women. You pick the music, Gary talks in between. I was a new media visionary in this town. Major VC funding, launch parties, the whole fucking lot. 99 I was here taking names. I invented social networking before anyone had a fucking computer. Now I'm all alone playing your music. It's not fucking fair, not fair at all. Independence FM on your radio dial. A groundbreaking concept. Playing your music and making you listen to commercials in between. Groundbreaking. I only wish someone would pay me some fucking money to break this fucking ground. Independence FM. It's a reflection of our times when fidelity is unimportant. I'm like a million others. All I care about is convenience and that people recognise how important my blog is. Sometimes I want to pull out a gun and blow my head off. I mean, seriously, I'm a loser, a fucking loser. Because I have so much fucking talent. I'm like a human Swiss Army knife. I've got the lot. And I'm stuck doing this. I'd give my left nut to have a paparazzi follow me and stick a camera up my crotch. Other people are doing something productive, and instead you are listening to Independence FM. Yet another reminder that your career goals have hit the shitter. A bit like mine. DJ, actor, filmmaker, visionary, and now this bollocks. Today in Liberty City, I'm going to audition for a new sitcom about a truck driver who makes love to a monkey. It's a coming-of-age tale where you wear a scarf, a long flamboyant scarf like a World War II fighter pilot, but in a truck, and have hemorrhoids, and cry when you masturbate. Some of this is based on reality. Christ, these antidepressants are strong. Isn't this the graveyard of creativity? Working on Independence FM, playing other people's music, pretending they're my friends. You're my friend, aren't you? Sitting at your keyboard or passed out on the living room floor? I just want to be loved by everyone. I once had a threesome with twins. Brother and sister. Who says rock and roll's dead? Probably the hip-hop industry. Anyone who doesn't like pop stars selling mobile phones or stock trades these days deserves to be extinct. Move with the time, people. It's okay to sell out nowadays. And you know who's the first person in rock to sell out? Any clues? Me. I'm trend-setting. Gary Sheen lives the future. You're having the time of your life now, running around Liberty City listening to music. Someday you'll look back on these days as the best days of your life. Then you'll snap out of that daydream and realise that you never were a real success, and all your friends hate it when they get a text message from you. Trust me, I know how that feels. You know, when you get divorced, you face up to a new reality of meals for one and internet porn, and then people say to you, you must be lonely. And you say in return, nah, it's okay, because now I get to eat on my own and I can masturbate whenever I want. And then people stop speaking to you, and before you know it, your career's down the shitter. Well, that's what it's like being me, people. The man who lost it all for art. Interactive art. I was a visionary. This is Liberty City's best radio station. We are here for you like a personal trainer who makes you feel good, then makes you feel very ashamed for being alive. And then you go into the changing room and everyone's looking at you and you try to say, it's bigger than this, usually, but instead you find yourself staring at another man in envy because he's in great shape and you're not anymore. Do you ever wonder what the inside of your colon looks like? I found out at the doctor. It looks impacted, but not from what you think. Honestly. I'll tell you what's really great about those video sharing sites. Watching people maim themselves doing stunts. You can be famous on the internet, but you might have to have livestock involved. Let me tell you, Gary Sheen does not fuck pigs. Independence FM. In the Liberty Tree, there's another story about salmonella. I don't understand why people keep dying from eating fish. Of course, after the last bird I was with, I nearly died as well, but she had the itch. Don't you hate it how when people come to America, they pretend they're something different from what they are back home? That's not my way. Like people who grew up in West London, they pretend they're from East London. What kind of wanker would do that? Answer me. Well, you can't because you haven't bought me a fucking phone. I'm street. I'm really, really street. I'm trying to get a film made. I wrote it. It's about some street guys like me, and they get into a big scrape, and then they get involved with drug dealing, and it's really funny. And everyone says things like, I've caught you, you mug. And then I want to marry a pop star. I'm real, people. You know what I really like? Wheels in shoes. I have a pair and people in the street make fun of me. But they made fun of Copernicus and Caligula too. And they made fun of the guy that invented the gun. Then he accidentally shot himself and everyone felt terrible. And then they laughed at him again. This is rock and roll, baby, and you should know because you're living the dream. You're the station controller at your own radio station, and I, Gary Sheen, am your slave. I have finished polishing the silver. Would you like to lay with me now, sir? Nothing says rock and roll like some free downloads and a social networking site. I want to be a star, please, Daddy. Shut up, you little brat. Let Gary speak. Gary's the star in this family. That's why he's living in America and missing your school plays. And that's why him and Mummy broke up. I've been in this game a long time. The toughest game of all. The game of making patronising metaphors about life. This is the radio of the future. Complete personal choice. Complete freedom. This is Radio 3.0. My name is Gary Sheen. I hope you're enjoying yourself, Liberty City, the city that never sleeps. I'll tell you what, I've seen my name up in lights. I'll put them up in my bedroom, it looks great. I hope they come out with some medication soon that stops you being really bloody bitter about the fact the world is wrong and you're right. You're on Independence FM. I love my ex-wife, I really love her, but I had a dream I was going to make it big, again. She wanted to stay in bloody Sidcup, and I wanted to tear up Algonquin. Well, I've acquired one American habit, therapy. Listen, I'm sorry, but your music, it's shit. If you pay me a lot of money, I'll tell you what's cool. I'm on the ground floor of a social networking site where you get a text message when I take a shit. Totally revolutionary. Listen, I'm not bitter, I'm just wise, and that wisdom tells me that I've become a miserable failure. Party on! But remember, I was there first. Liberty City, I love you. Why don't you love me back? I'm a talented guy. I was one of the early adopters on the internet. I invented raving. That hands in the air thing, that was me. Now this is all I've got. Independence FM. Listen, I'm not a mockney. I'm not. I went to a private school, but I'm real. I am tough. I'm hard. I'm the real thing. I've been in fights with men as well as women. Honestly. My God. I cannot wait for my shift to finish so I can go to an expat bar, eat English food, watch English football, and complain about the fact that everyone in England thinks I'm a cunt. I've lived on the streets, in a van, reading Proust and crapping into a bucket and thinking, I am so punk rock, I am hip-hop, I'm postmodernism, I'm Gary Sheen. Have you ever had a girl with pimples on her arse? Really distracting. You Americans eat way too much dairy full of hormones. They ask me, Gary, you're a man, but you have breasts. And I say, isn't that the American dream? It's hard to get your head in the right place after an evening of E, your best friend making out with a man, and you come to in a strange pancake restaurant where a woman with meth mouth feeds you bitter stimulants until you can't bear the sunlight anymore and you want to die, and you realise, wow, drugs have really sent me down the rabbit hole. I don't think I'm ever coming back, America. Gary Sheen on Independence. Independence. It's an invasion of music picked by you, the Liberty City radio listener, because music defines who you are as a person. Somebody that listens to the soul droppings of a rich wanker with a drug habit, and you say to yourself, wow, this mass-produced emotion really speaks to me. Gary Sheen taking you through another day and night on Independence. It's a dirty word in this town, a concrete social disaster by the sea, proving that 7 million people really can hate each other. Independence FM. We are literally throbbing here, throbbing in a mass of people. We're all one Liberty City, we're an army of one, and we've gone AWOL from ourselves. The war is over if you want it. Can you get any better than Independence FM? Probably not. Here's the dirty secret about radio. I may come across as the dashing entrepreneur and man with his thumb cutting off the cultural jugular, but in reality I went to private school and have a doll collection. They're action figures, not dolls. This is Gary on Independence. Let me tell you, the transgender community is not one that you want to piss off in this town, as they will make your life quite miserable. Can you believe that they've legalised absinthe in the United States? Finally, you can become really belligerent drinking stuff that tastes like antifreeze, set fire to your crotch and call it art. Have you seen my blog? I have some amazing traffic, most of it from overseas where they really understand the depth of music. Man, I'm feeling really amazing on these energy drinks right now. I feel like I could go and be athletic, but I'm not. Best to smoke another snout, I think. Is it just me, or is this town just not as fun as it was 20 years ago? In those days, everyone partied a lot harder. The only thing was no one let me in anywhere when I came to visit. Now I can get in everywhere and it's all bollocks. God, that guy Laszlo, man, what a wanker. I met him the other day at some industry thing. The guy is so high on his own supply, he must be missing a rib. I'll tell you what, America's great and all, but I do miss Britain. If only everyone there didn't hate me and the dollar wasn't in the shitter, I'd move back in a second. The good thing about living in this country is that here, I'm no longer a wanker. I'm an onanist, apparently, whatever that means. Oh, bloody hell, we got to go do a commercial. It may be your radio station, but we still got to play commercials. Here's some commercials for some bullshit you don't need. You know, in England we call them adverts, but here you call them shite. Let's do a commercial. Let's take a commercial break while I try not to slip my wrists. Let's go listen to some news from Weazel. Here's some more lies from the guys at Weazel. Weazel News Time, probably going to tell us about terrorism, scare the shit out of us. Oh, beautiful, it's time to do the news. I was just hoping we'd have a terror alert.